Hello, and welcome to Trash with a capital T, where we give trashy books and movies the love they truly deserve. I'm your host, Bobby, and I post new videos here every Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you like what you see at any point during the video, give me a like. I really appreciate them, and they help the channel. And if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. I post regularly. I actually post pretty far out, so my releases are fairly consistent. So my journey through middle grade horror continues. Don't know why my brain has latched onto this. This is what I'm cycling through right now with my reading. And it's actually been really productive. I've gotten through a bunch of books, so I appreciate that. And while it started with reading older stuff, and then it moved to reading a new Goosebumps book, or newer, because I think the newest one is already going to be out by the time this video is up. I'm starting to try out some more small press or indie published or self-published middle grade horror books that I've seen on Amazon that have caught my eye. And the one we're talking about today has actually shown up in my feed on Amazon multiple times. And I finally was like, you know what? If I'm doing this, let's do it. Let's actually dive in, try this one out. The reviews were really good. And the author sounds like he's actually a pretty cool person. I've heard some good things about him online too. So I was like, let's go. Okay, so today we were talking about the first Bumps in the Night book. I want to make sure that I said that right. Bumps in the Night in the Mall of Madness by A.D. Arrow. This one was a surprise for me. I was going in this kind of expecting goosebumps, and I did not get goosebumps. This one hits hard. It hits a little harder than the K.R. Alexander book that I read. I actually had moments while I was reading this going, is this really written for kids? And I do think it is. I do. But I think this is one that adults could easily pick up and get into. Best way I could describe it, take an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, but have it be written by Bentley Little. So you have the horror and the creep and all of that, but you also have this kind of social commentary mixed in, because the whole story is a mall is invading a small town and basically destroying the economic ecosystem of the town. I'll get into the plot very shortly, but yeah, I was kind of not expecting what I got, and I'm not complaining. I had fun with this one, and it is a great ending. This one nailed the ending. So I do plan on actually getting the next book, which I believe is Nostalgic Nightmare. Yes, I do plan on getting the next one. The third book actually looks really creepy as well. It involves clowns, but I'm going to try reading these in order if I'm going to read them. Okay, so general plot. We follow a young girl named Sam who lives in Plainfield. Small town, nothing much happens there. Her dad runs a general store, and she spends her days with her best friend Lizzie at school. And everything's fine until one day signs start popping up talking about a mall coming to Plainfield, and the residents are not happy because a mall for them would be a bad thing. They are told over and over again by the town council that this is good for Plainfield. It'll bring more people to Plainfield. This will help the town. Townspeople don't buy it, especially Sam's dad. He is livid is not the right word. And it's very obvious that something very wrong is going on when the head of the company building the mall shows up. Her name is Morrigan, and that's her right there. And that is a very close description of how she looks in the book. She just exudes evil from the page, and I enjoyed her scenes. Without spoilers, this one, it takes a while. It doesn't get dark super fast. It does definitely feel like a middle grade book towards the beginning, but there was a point where we switch perspective from Sam to her parents, and we get adult perspectives on what's going on. And it's not for much of the book, but I was actually kind of surprised. You don't get that a lot in books for middle grade readers. Those books tend to actually push the parents really out of the picture. It's about the kids. The parents are there, but not really. This one, Sam's parents are very actively involved. We get several scenes with them and her. And her father and the struggle he has with what he sees coming for his store is a big part of the book. And I appreciated that adult perspective. It doesn't overwhelm the rest of the story. It definitely informs it. And it makes this feel a little more grounded, even though we're dealing with some big over-the-top supernatural moments. And the characters that we spend time with, I do like. They feel very rounded. They don't feel necessarily deep because we don't have a lot of time to spend with them. And this is definitely more plot heavy, like a lot of these books are. But Sam, as a main character, enjoyed her immensely. She avoided all of the annoying tropes that you can get from any of these books. She felt like a more realistic kid. Her excitement about potentially creating a documentary about the mall, because she's an aspiring filmmaker, felt very real. But her also reaction, her understanding of what her father's going through was something that I thought was well handled. There's a very heavy human component to this book that I appreciated, because these books don't always do that. They don't always try and grasp at the humanity of the horror. And this one got that, and I appreciated it. Like I said, this one, while it's appropriate, I would definitely say older, middle grade. This actually feels closer to what I would call teen fiction, which we really don't have anymore. Teen fiction was this. Teen fiction was the point horror books. And it was Fear Street. We call them YA now. Those books were really not YA. YA branches into your 20s. The Fear Street books, those were more like 16 to 18, maybe like 13 to 18, but not much past that. That's kind of what I feel like this is written towards, especially because of the ending. Again, not going to spoil it for you. Read the book. I know I'm overselling it because someone's going to read it and be like, what are you talking about? The ending, I saw coming from a mile away. And yeah, no, I can't say I did. I really did not see that coming. But you might. So, hey, cool. To each their own. The only issue I actually have with the writing of the book, the pacing is a little slow at times, and it takes us a little too long to get to the mall. And I get why it was paced out this way. I just wish we actually had more time at the mall. This one is about 170 pages. It's a little over 100. It's actually closer to 180. It's 180 pages. I actually think this could have been a little longer. I mean, these books are not short anymore. Kids' books are not short. They don't have to be 150 pages. Like, the K.A. Alexander book I read was what, like 200 something pages? 200 pages. Yeah. We were actually talking about that. I have a friend at work. I actually did a special requested review for my friend's kid, and she was talking about how the kids' books these days are not the little piddly things we used to get. Like, I'm currently reading... I'm taking a little break from horror for my next book, and I'm reading middle grade fantasy. I am reading The School for Wicked Witches. It's set in Oz. I love The Wizard of Oz and The World of Oz, so I had to give it a try. But, no, we're not talking about that book today, because I haven't finished it yet. I wish this was a little longer so we could get a little more time in the mall. Because once you get in the mall, you're there, you go to one store, stuff kind of goes crazy, and then we spiral into the ending. So that is the one thing. I will say, it's funny, I've just filmed a video about Bentley Little recommendations, and then I read this, I'm like, this is the middle grade, the store. It is 100%, not in a rip-off way, but it's like, it has the same motives. It is about how big corporations can come in and just obliterate the social economy of small towns. That is a heavy subject for a kid's book. And I think it was actually done. It's not subtle because it's a kid's book and you don't want to bury it too much. It's there and it is text. It's not subtext, but it's not overbearing. It's handled perfectly. Like I said, I just wish we got more time at the mall. The one critique I really have for this book has nothing to do with the writing itself. ADRO, you write a great little horror yarn, and I love you for it. But do me a favor. Do not justify a line your text. Please. And it's funny. I think I had it. No, it didn't happen here. But because it does weird things to your paragraph breaks and line breaks. And I get this. I believe this is self-published, and it is hard to copy, edit, and format your book. But I don't think. Yeah, this is. What is this one? I would really avoid justifying alignment on your books, because what happens is in some sentences you have these giant gaps, and if you just do like a left align, you don't have those gaps. You do have ragged edges, but you don't have those gaps, and those gaps get a little distracting. I work professionally as a graphic designer, and That's one of those things where I look at them like, that format is made for newsprint. Don't do that. Don't do that. Or unless you can go in and like really, it takes a lot of time to use Justified. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's a very small critique, by the way, because I would never ever use that as any way to say don't buy this book, because I'm saying 100%. If you can get your hands on this book, read it. Adult, kid, well, older kid, younger kids. Younger kids, well, it depends. So my main reason I say that is because, without going into detail, there is some gore in this book, and it's not light. We're not talking Terrifier. That's not like a 10-minute scene where a character is tortured. But for something compared to like a Goosebumps, what most kids are used to reading when it comes to horror, this one hits harder. It actually, I want to say it's about where K.R. Alexander is, but maybe a little past that. At least from what I've read. I've only read Vacancy. I actually have The Fear Zone lined up to read. I can't wait to dig into that. But, so that is the only warning I would give if you are thinking of giving this to your kid. If you are thinking of reading this as an adult, like I did, the best way I could describe this is, this reminded me a lot of old school paperback writing. In the best way. It is very engrossing, easily engaging. It pulls you into the story and it doesn't let you go until it's finished. That's what I look for good pulpy storytelling. And people say pulpy or trash as a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying this was fun and enjoyable, and I had a good time with it, even though it does have kind of a nihilistic edge to it, which I actually really appreciated. So go into this knowing you're not getting Goosebumps. Bumps in the night aside, you are not getting Goosebumps. You are getting something that definitely is a little more steeped in the paperback horror tradition, while blending in some of the tropes that were familiar with middle grade horror readers. This definitely feels like it is made to kind of work with both audiences, with adults and with kids. Compared to some of a book like Goosebumps, where that is, when I read it, I'm like, this is kids. This one definitely has a wider age range. All right. I have gushed about this book enough. So, do I recommend In the Mall of Madness? Yes. Yes, I 100% do. And I love the title because In the Mouth of Madness is one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie. So, love the play on that as well. But yes, I 100% will tell anyone, check this out. It's really, really fun. Okay, so like I already said, next, it might not be the next video, it might be swapped around, but I might take a break from middle grade horror for a little while to check out some middle grade fantasy. Don't know why middle grade is what's appealing to me. Or maybe I'll drop in some YA horror or thrillers or something. But I will try and keep you guys posted at where my brain is so you can kind of guess what's coming. Other than that, you know, things are just going to be going on as normal. We're going to go into the new year chugging along. I honestly have to say this channel has been the best thing for my reading. I have been blowing through books so fast and I'm loving it. So, you know, for all you guys who are watching, thank you, because you're helping me get through a big reading slump. And I'm working my way through what my brain is kind of craving. And I appreciate you guys taking that ride with me. Okay, let's wrap this puppy up. It's almost 15 minutes long. So, as I always say, love what you love, enjoy what you're reading and watching, and have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.